Good morning, my powerful MVP family. It is Thursday here in Jamaica and where you are as well. So, except for except for trending, I got this guy's my soursop leaves, nice and dry. Um, yeah. So it's time for another video, my people. Time for another video. So this morning, this is what I'm gonna share with. So the stash came in, guys. The market lady came to me early, so I got my papayas. Oh, I got my mangoes. It's a nice green big mangoes. Um, I got my oranges. You know, Kayla loves fruit, so I have to always stock up on the fruits. That piece of pumpkin. She had just cut the pumpkin, so I got me my portion. I got a lettuce. I'm gonna make a quick salad. In this bag, I think what's left in here is the corn. So I got me, this is 5. She should have put 6 corn. Supposed to be 6 corns because we love corn. Kayla loves corn. I love corn. So, oops. What's left in here? Oh, right. So it's 2 lettuce. But look what we got today, guys. Look what we got today. Ote apples. Guys, suppose I tell you, I'm 64. I haven't had this apple for over, let me see, 50 years. 50 years I have not eaten an Ote apple. At 14, I left Springfield in St. Elizabeth at 14. And I've never had one of these apples since I left up here, since I left St. Elizabeth all those years ago. But I remember the taste. I remember Mas Harry had a little tree down by the pond, you know, man. And we'd go over there. The apples were small but sweet. And we'd go over there and we we go down to carry water, but we'd have run across and go over on his land and when the apple tree, man, full up in them, man, lizard that eat them, bird that eat them. And yet if the man ever see up on the tree pick one of the apple them, he would have make up so much noise. It was one of the meanest man ever. He had a star apple tree 2 ways to walk through the gate to go down to the pond, and the star apple tree was on his side of the property. Huge. The limbs, the lower limbs, man, when them start with them come on pan something, them just hang down low, you could just reach out and pick. I myself, if the man see I pick one, the man would make up so much noise for the something them what God bless him land with. And him no wanted to know because his kids were grown and gone. And we were the young ones in the area, my neighbor and myself, that the neighbor had like 7 kids. And all of us used to meet up and go down to the pond for water. And Mr. Mas Harry, Mr. the man, Mr. the star for them just mean and sitting up in the treetop just like Mas Harry did mean. We couldn't pick none up on the lower branch, and heaven help us if you see we're throwing a stone up there for knock down any of the star for them. And then just sitting up there and dry up on the tree, just dry up. And when it comes to this like Ote apple, we just call it apple tree. We never bothered with the fancy name. We never bothered with the fancy name. We just said we need to go pick apple. And also, guys, hey, see there? My whole jug of coconut water, okay? 6 coconut fill it up to that today. So I have my fresh coconut water. I have my Ote apple. No, I have to be cautious with the apple because I haven't eaten it for so long. I'm just praying. I am just praying that I have no bad reactions to it. You know, I'm just praying for that. Because I remember when I had naseberry, and it wasn't, I had naseberry since Granny used to buy it at the market, or Granny used to pick it off of the tree. And we couldn't eat them when them turn and stay, and we have to wait till them well ripe. Oh my God, and Granny would have taken them peel them and cook them gooey. Sometimes them ripes and nice, we just wash them, eat everything except the seed. Man, telling you the good old days, man. I'm telling you. But that's my little stash for today. I didn't pick up any yam because I still have frozen yam. Didn't pick up any sweet potato because I still have a couple of slices left. So I just wanted fruits and some corn and the pumpkin today. And my coconut water, of course. So Kayla have enough fruit. She get fruit with her cereal in the mornings. And for the mangoes, she and I just sit down at the table and she get for her mango, me get for my mango. And if they're big mangoes, me cut one side gear and then me take the other side plus the seed. That's a Nancy, right? So Nancy get more. But that's how it is, guys. So stay tuned as I lead right into my video for today. Because today I was talking to my friend Yvette. Her channel is Faith with Yvette Movements. And if you haven't gone over to check out her channel, I'm going to mention it again in 2 shakes. So we were talking today. Her husband passed away a couple months ago. It was a long, tedious road. He has been sick for a long time, and she has been going through it all these years, and he finally passed away. Took him home to Jamaica, buried him, and this morning I just thought of just checking in on her, and we had like hours of talking, and one of the things we were talking about was the old days, guys, and some of the things that used to go on. The pig's tail, the ginger sugar, the wet sugar, them stuff. So I'm going to come back and come have a chat with you guys. So stay tuned. So my Purple and BP family, welcome back to another video. All right, so the first part of the video, I was trying to reconnect and it went back to start. So I'm starting, this is part 2 of the video, guys. As I was saying in the other video, that I was talking to Miss Yvette this morning, and we were just talking about the good old days. Oh my God, the good old days. And we're talking about fresh meat, because I bought some things and I ended up had to give them away because just couldn't. I cut back on the meat, and I bought the bag with the best dressed chicken with the parts in it, but it's all best dressed, and they cut up the chicken. It's in there, the wings, the thighs, the breasts, it's all in there, and just couldn't handle it at all. I handle the Kentucky Fried Chicken like maybe once a month. We get a bucket. I didn't get any last month, or didn't get any yet this month. Refreshing coconut water, guys. So refreshingly good. So what I do, see, these are what I use to replenish my, I have my water. I'm going to put it down so it gets to room temperature. I have my Gatorade. I do take them out because before the day is over, I'm finished with them, but I don't drink them that cold. I let them be at room temperature. So I'll just take them out and set them down and then drink them as needed. This morning I had my lemon water. I buy the fresh lemons from my market lady, and I squeeze one each morning and pour the hot water, the boiling water on it. So I had this, I just have a little bit left in this. Oh, I could throw it in the coconut water because it's lemon. So I had that left over. So that's what I do, guys. I have to replenish because, see, as I sit here, I'm sweating. And I'm happy for that. I'm glad that my body is able to cool itself down. And I'm not just sitting there, my body is dry, there's no sweat coming, because then that would mean that my pores are blocked. I think when your pores are nice and open, it will sweat out some of the impurities. Don't quote me on it, but I think, oh, what's going on? My kids are having a conversation there. I'm not even involved. I don't even know. I know he was talking about who is coming for Super Bowl. So it looks like his sisters are going to be hanging out at his house. So I was telling him, yeah, I'm coming. So guys, I'm hoping that wherever you are, you're in good spirits, you find something to laugh out loudly about. Yesterday when I used my island view, you took me through a little thing. But because of that island view, I'm giving you a shout out this morning. I am going to be doing a video later today with that word that you posted, with nothing else. That just had me thinking, what? Did I say something wrong? What? But you did send the explanation, and I thank you, and I appreciate you guys for being with me. I thank you for your contribution to the conversations. I really, really, really and truly appreciate it. I know I get more contributions when it's something that it's people are passionate about. But I'm still grateful for those of you who still contribute to the conversation on whatever topic I put out. I really, really, really thank you for that. So as we were talking today, as I said, my video right now stems from me talking with Miss Yvette. I checked in on her. We just started talking about, when she took the husband down, we're talking about fresh meat, or when as kids, I never liked the smell of fresh fowl, but I remembered when I moved from St. Elizabeth to live with my mom's family. At first we lived in Kingston, and then years later they moved down. She's been watching my Aki as my daughters, they're talking. They moved down. The aunt I was staying with, she was a dentist, and we moved down. We moved down to Trelawney. Moved down here to Trelawney, and still nice. And my uncle used to raise chickens. He used to do the white chicken, a big old coop with white chickens, and he used to do the laying hens. And I never had to do with anything. He would pick up the eggs. My brother would go deliver eggs. My uncle used to wipe the eggs off, clean them up for delivery and stuff. We didn't have to do that. But when the chickens, the white ones, were to be plucked, then they put the neck in the pan, and he would do the neck and the pot of water boiling on the side there, and we would dip them and then pick them. And so back then you had to eat the meat from these chickens, but as things got older, I couldn't handle the fresh meat. Like if the chicken is freshly killed and you want to cook it up, and I didn't see it fine. But if it's fresh, there's just something that I couldn't understand. I couldn't help myself with it. As a young girl living in St. Elizabeth with my grandmother, my uncle was the one who killed the chickens and all of that, the old roosters, the rabbits. He was the one who did all of that. And they would make dinner, and then Granny and myself, they would prepare dinner. We had our dishes with our dinner to go home with. And so coming to Trelawney and seeing them do that, it was tough. But you had to help, right? Because they put a roof over your head, and and so you just had to help. But I couldn't stand it. It was something I could stomach, but I fought through it. But then we also talk about in the early, when they used to kill the pigs. And I used to be so afraid in the early morning before day, when my uncle and my uncles would come, and they had a special man in our area. He was a good killer. He knew how to stick the pig and they hold it down until it dies, and then they tie it up on the thing, and so I would run in the house and hide until all that screaming stopped, and then when I come outside, you would smell that scent when they were now gutting it down, and taking out the insides and scraping it, and oh my God. People are so, and I remember Granny and whoever, the other women who would be there, they would take the belly and they would go somewhere out in the bushes and to wash the belly, cut the thing with the rag in it. open it up, wash it out, good, good, good. You have to stand there pouring the water for them, and they'd wash it out, and then they would do the little intestines. You know, I don't know how many you remember it. They would push the stick in it to turn it on after they squeeze out whatever was in it. Then they have to turn it on the wrong side, on the inside out. And you have to pour the water for them until, so they could wash them out, wash out everything, pull out the worms that were in there. And it was a job. But they would do all of that. They wash it and they turn it back on the right side. And boy, oh boy, oh. And the men would sit there and they would cut out the kidney, I think, the liver, the light. I think that's the lungs. They used to call it the light. And they would do the liver and the light in the early morning. They would cook that up with the pepper and the scallion and the what have you, and they would have bread ready. And you get that with some tea and you're gone to school. And I remember like you're coming home and they would sell the two sides of the pig to Mas Earl, or Mas Earl would be selling it for them. So when you're coming home, you see the two sides of pig hanging up in his shop, and they hang it in the shank. They cut a hole in the thing, like on the elbow of the foot, and here they call it the shank, I think. And they would hang it up and they would sell it for them, and then Granny them would go when it's done and they collect them the money. Those were some days. And I say back then there was no refrigerator. There was no refrigerator to refrigerate these meats. But they were... Then sometimes they would corn the pork and put it in the buckets under, so that flies wouldn't touch on it, because if flies touch on it and lay eggs on it, then maggots are going to take up the meat. But Yvette and I, we were talking about the same thing. She said, oh, Miss Bev, it was the same for me. And we both became Seventh-day Adventists. And because when I left from Granny, and when we finally left Kingston and came to Trelawney, my grandmother and her children, most of the kids were Seventh-day Adventists. And then I got baptized and became, so they didn't do pigs down there. But I remembered even when my kids, when when my uncle passed away, and we came down for the funeral, and there was a goat. They had brought a goat for I think the day of the funeral, for the after, and my children fell in love with this little goat. They would go break things, bring it for it to eat, and go up there and touch him and play with him, and then the day come when they decide to kill this goat. The kids bawl so much. They bawl, and when they cooked it up and they were serving it, they wouldn't touch a piece of it. They never ate a piece of it. They were so in love with this little goat kid, and they never want the meat to eat. But then, life, I'm telling you, I'm just looking back then as we talked this morning and looking now. And I know a lot of us, so many kids do not have a past. They don't have any childhood memories. But we were just talking about even when, for me, I love sweet milk. So when Granny had the little glass thing, I don't know how many of you, if you had these things, just tell me in the comment, talk to me about your childhood, if any of what I did resonates with you as a child. The Granny had the little milk jar. It was a thing with the little thing on the top. You slide back and you would tilt it and pour the milk out. So every time you cut a can of milk, you would pour it in there. At the time, we had Betty milk, and we had another milk. It was two milks. We never bought Betty because Betty this was weaker. But the other condensed milk, I forgot what company made that milk. But it was nice and thick. And Granny would cut it, man, and she'd pour it in the jar and make it stay there till it dripped down to nothing. And she would cover it. And poor me, I would, every chance I got to just pull that thing back and pour a little milk in my hand. I would do that. Not knowing that Granny is watching, because every time you drink out the darn milk, it left the old mark where the milk was. And I'm drinking out the milk. Now then Granny said, Bev, that's something that will give you worm enough. Stop, drink out the milk. So then I found out Granny know when I drink the milk out. So what did Beverly do? Beverly started drinking out the milk and adding water into the darn milk. Stupid. Right? That's how dumb we were. So I say we must listen to our parents, Listen to them because them full of knowledge. Them know more than we know. Because when they put the water in the milk, the water make the milk loose. So when you go for pour the milk like this, it now run up, it now just take time slowly go out anymore. It just just run out quick and fast. You're gonna just shake her head. I used to take out the milk, teeth out the milk. When there was Milo, she buy the tin of Milo. Man, me love milk with sweet Milo and milk. You mix it up in one little something, even in a condensed can. And boy, me that just take a little each time for the day and just keep going at it. But it just feel like sometimes every time I try to hide something, I hide it in the cupboard in the room in a granny. Granny had a nice cupboard that we used to put stuff in. And I hide it in the corner, Granny find it. And I hide it under something under the cabinet. Granny, me say how she always find me when I put my stuff. But me used to just like them something, man. Me used to just love the sweet something. How much I used to go them in your shop and you open the liquor, them used to fold the sugar. Remember them used to fold it? It's a square piece of paper. Them pour it, them put it in the scale, put the sugar in there, 1 pound of sugar. Them take it up, them fold it, and then them bend the bottom and fold up the top. Then turn the other side and fold it up and give you go home with it. Me walk, left Miss Daisy's shop, and as me reach, go through the gate, me feel so Miss Daisy not see me no more. Me take time and me pull one at the end. With the little point, it always have a little point, or them fold it. And me pull it, and me pour like a sugar in my hand. Me lick it and me go on, and me lick it and me go on. Maybe by the time I reach up from Uncle Charlie, the urge come again. It's like a drugs, It's like it come again and me have to open it again and take out a little more. But sometimes by the time me throw the cleaner, I too much come out, but me not put it back. Me fold it back and me lick my sugar. And me lick my sugar until I go home. Remember one time I took out so much of the sugar that when I go home, I get a beating. Big beating, And then Granny tell me, say, all right. I said, Bev, I said, Miss Daisy give the sugar. I said, yes, Granny. I said, Bev, I said, Miss Daisy give the sugar. Because Granny she wasn't loud and contentious. Granny wasn't like that. Granny was quiet and just, Bev, I said, Miss Daisy give the sugar. Yes, Granny. And she asked me again, and I say, yes, Granny. So now I get a beating for lie. And I get a beating for name out the sugar. And now I have to take back the sugar. She said, all right, come, go take your care back. Go give Miss Daisy, tell Miss Daisy me no want. Tell Miss Daisy say me no want it. And I stand up there. And she tell me, so she wait for me to care back to Miss Daisy. Because if I say Miss Daisy give me the sugar, then Miss Daisy need to take it back. Tell you as a kid, sometimes that's why we have to be patient with our children, Like my kids didn't have the opportunity for these things, but, even as teachers in classrooms, we have to be patient with them. We have to be firm and love them and guide them, but never forget that we were not perfect. We can't forget our imperfections as children. One of the things that me used to do, also when I said if you go buy saltfish, pick up the saltfish, pick the saltfish, eat till you get, just pick out a little. And Granny always find out. Because the fish are going to look different when you go home with it, not true? So, we do these things like I said, when we do it, them invisible. Like it invisible. I used to love the wet sugar. I used to love the ginger sugar. Remember my neighbor, whenever she go new market, man, I get my black or ginger sugar. When me sell me little, like pimento and them something there, I make sure me get my black or ginger sugar. And you cut it up in a little piece, and you, Lord Jesus, what is nice, so. I don't even know if they still have wet sugar and them something there. When you get your ginger sugar, then you used to cut it up in a blocks. 1 square block. And when Miss Monica would bring that come home, man, when I saw, And Granny know used to buy the wet sugar. When you mix burbage with wet sugar and put your lemon in a them, we had the big burger lemon, the rough lemon, them, the real lemon. And when you put that, Lord Jesus of mercy, them days there, we didn't have much, but what we had was so satisfying, was so nice. No preservatives, no chemicals of any sorts, just a real natural something them. I'm going to look for my granny. My granny had weight, but she had meat on her bones, you know. But granny lived to be 96 years old. Some people said she did live older, she was 100 and something. But we don't know because we go by what we know. So she born January, it was when she died. Them say she born January 1, 1910. That's what them said. You know, but people are saying that when them found her real birth certificate, that wasn't her birthday, she was older than that. I don't know. I'm just going from what we knew. But I'm telling you, man, them days was something else. And the heap of fruits. Granny have so much fruit trees. Dear Lord, have mercy. So much fruit trees. And I'm looking like you eat your dinner. I think that's why we stayed how we were. Because when you look and see, like even orange, she had so many orange trees on her property. And you just take the little knife. You used to make, my uncle used to make our own little knife, put on the pan, when the knife break or so we get the piece. And then put it in our stick for it. And band it up with the rubber them used to make catapult. And that was your personal little knife. So when you go in a bush or anywhere, you carry it with you. You just climb up into the orange tree and catch. And just pick orange and eat orange in the tree and drop down it. You just pick orange and eat. You can go grapefruit tree and you pick your grapefruit them. Nobody fi bother you. Nobody fi bother you. Because Granny always say before bud come eat them off. We not want to eat them. You give the neighbor them something. Give, boy. Granny, may your soul rest peacefully. You were blessed soul. Custard apple. We never have no star apple tree. We had custard apple, we had soursop, we had naseberry, we had guinea, we have tangerine. Oh my, not the tangy one. We had mandarin. No, tangerine. I don't even know. We had them sweet ones, the little sweet ones. We have guava. Lord Jesus, what else would it have? We had pear pantry, we had mango. We never have an influx of mango. We had some mango. We had some mango. We had sugar cane. We have banana. Oh my God, now they make a banana. We see them a look for now. They could write banana, them say something so. We used to have gross Mitchell, big banana. We used to have the purple banana, them call it. Frog banana, whatever they were. But boy, when them well ripe, them sweet. But we had big, they were big. They were not these little, they could stingy stuff what them have today. One finger banana could make you a pot of porridge. Lord Jesus, those days, I tell you. When soursop ripe. Because Granny never like when them dip on the tree and she never see them and them spoil. Sometimes I pick it up and say, Lord, Bev, look here. You sit up on the tree and it just drop off and say under the tree spoil. Never like it. But we had our fair share of fruits, man. We had with fruits, man, and we had full access. Nobody will tell you, you can't touch this, you can't do this. Granny make you enjoy it. Today we were just talking and I'm telling you, it feels good. I was talking about when we used to eat pork and you all come home on a pig's tail for dinner. What are something that's sweet? When we used to eat pork, what are something that's sweet? Pig's tail with them little grizzly bone at the tail. Lord Jesus. Mm. Thank you, Jesus, for your blessings. You know, I said in today's times, people are, you know, they just want big houses. Them just want big houses, big houses. You know, I could build up my big house. I could build up my big Airbnb, huge, humongous. I could build and I could build. But yet we have no childhood. We have no, so many of us, some of us, we had our childhood, but we're talking about, me not go back to them the days. Those were the best days. I'm not saying it was a rough enough. I'm telling them, I said, I used to run barefoot when I was 14. I run on the bare asphalt, the black tar asphalt. 12 o'clock at daytime when the sun stand up in the middle of the sky and then just blaze down. Them asphalt road, they did terrible for run, man. To burn your little foot and you just run because you pick it up fast so that it can cool. You're walking at the corner of the bush just to keep your foot cool. But we're here to talk about it, you know. We used to skip, we used to pull whist. We used to go in the bush Sunday evening and go get whist. Because you want your little group and you have to have whist for jump rope. Remember our principal at the primary school, we used to have rope, long rope. And sometimes when she take it out and make we all have access to it, man. And when you jump, when you're looking at the something that jump, and like 20 picnic in it, a jump and pass, and Lord Jesus, then you have strong arms to wheel a rope there, you know, man. I should just take out the long old rope there, man, and we run out, man, and we, hot pepper, and when you have to jump fast. And we used to jump and pass, and the rope long so you could run, you could skip and pass, and you go up to the end of your turn and you go back down and you skip and pass. And then when you talk about room for rent, apply within. When I run out, then you run in. And so them wheel run and you run. You have to learn for running a rope and wheel, you know. And you wait till the rope reach up in at the top and you're running and as you come down, you jump and you continue. And them used to be, you start jump 1, 2, 3, 4, no, something. What kind of house will you live in? Upstairs, downstairs, underneath the cellar. Upstairs, downstairs, underneath the cellar. I'm telling you, those were good days. Those were some good days. I sit here and I reminiscence about, you know, you get the beating in a class if you didn't know how to do work, but we used to have fun for recess. And yes, you had some kids who were mean-spirited and bullyish, but thank God there were other kids. There were more kids who were loving and kind and inclusive and than those who were bullies, you know. There were more kids who were nice, and you get to play with them and you know, sighting, and because I was short, but I was fast. I was so fast, and so they picked me on them team, man, because we could run the bases, we could sight the ball, and man, so till you drop on the ground, then fling the ball, you just drop on the ground, the ball sail gone, and you just run around. They were good days. So the people didn't have no time, them get recess, then upon TikTok, then upon this. Them don't have no time for even form a little group. We used to do the ring games. Farmer in a dell, a farmer in a dell, and hey, oh, the daddy, oh, the farmer in a dell. And the farmer takes a wife. And you grab somebody out of the ring, man, and you takes a wife, and you skip around on the daddy. The wife takes a child, and you skip on the wife, and the child takes a rat, and the rat takes a cat, and the cat takes a dog, and the dog... Then the farmer runs away, and then the wife runs away, and the rat takes a cheese, and everybody run away. Then the cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Hey, the cheese stands alone, and them start again. Always have the ring game where you jump in. Or those were born in January skip around, and everybody born in January could jump in the ring and skip. Man, I tell you. Nice. It's after 1. I don't do lunch. I just do breakfast and then dinner when Kayla comes. And so those were the days when and then we do Sim, Sim, Sim. I'm Staggerly. Who stole the cookie from the cookie? In number 2 stole the cookie from the cookie. You mean me? Yes, you could be. Then it's number 7 stole the cookie from the cookie. Oh my God. And you just, there was another one when it was moonshine night. We always, but even at school, we get in 2 groups, and one group goes away and they bend over together, they huddle together, and they decide what profession they were going to come back. They have to decide what they were going to come back to be. And they would go over, huddle over, and they decide, and then everybody must be doing the same thing. And so they come back and here we are. And the other group said, where are you from? You said, England. He said, what's your trade? It says lemonade. It says set to work. And you start doing something, and if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, if you're a builder, if you're whatever, you start doing some activity and they have to guess what it was. And then you always had, which one what was the game that the one was in the pen, and then the one outside had to run and bust the hand to catch the hugging a pen. Was it hugging a pen? I don't remember what it was, But I just remember one person was in the pen. So everybody hold hands, and the one person is inside the ring. We call it in the pen. And then it's like a wolf or a dog needed to come in and catch, but they cannot go under the hand. They have to bust one of the hands. They have to find a weak hand to when they run and they hit it, it would pull apart so they could go in and catch the animal in the pen. All them something these kids don't know today. Because even if you're trying it with them don't want to run, them don't want to do nothing, them don't want to, What I used to do with my kids in my classroom in America there, I used to do in the river on the bank. So I would select one section. I would tell them over there is the river and up here is the bank. And they loved it. They want to play it every time. Mr. Black, come, let's play. I used to give prizes though. For the last one standing, I used to give a prize. So they used to love it. I don't know if it's a prize they loved or just the fact in the river on the bank. And then they jump in the river. But it was so nice. It was so nice. But today I just sit here, guys, and those are little things that I say when you have these memories. A lot of us, we block out all these good parts and we'll remember the bad parts. But there was so much more good parts than bad parts. There was so much more. When we were going to school, there were so many kids. When you look and see where they're coming from, one room, you're looking at one room on a hill, or even, I remember certain people, close people to me. One room, the mother and the father was in that room, and they would keep the little baby. They would let the baby sleep in the bed in there with them. In the room was a table pushed up against the wall, and on that table was a little glass and crockery plates on that table, and a lamp. In the next little room outside was 2 small beds. One of the bed they called a 3/4 bed. A little bed where 3 boys lay on that and slept. 3 boys. And on the other little bed in the corner was the big girl and her little sister. A little bed, I don't know if you would call it a 3/4. That was it. And they lived, and the big girl, she turned out, she has a doctorate degree today. Her little sister became a nurse. And the other kids, everybody's doing okay. On the other little space was a little kitchen. A little kitchen, so you step out of this little space where the kids slept. And when you step out, you stepped in the kitchen, and some boards extend out. But if rain is falling and the water is running from outside right through, so you cannot cook in there when it's raining because the water is just rushing right through. But the little push out from the kids' room, the little push out, it was high enough that the water didn't come into the house. It run right through the kitchen and go out. And the place to cook, it was kind of up, the fireplace, it was kind of up. So the water wouldn't flood it. The water just running like a trench, it just run right through and went out onto the roadway. And when you look at those things and look at where they're coming from, no mattress to sleep on, nobody had a mattress on bed. They had cloth that they would use to make the bed. And yet the kids would get up and dress in the morning, and you think they're coming out of the nicest home. And them run to school and them learn and them do well and go away, go build them life later. It's just amazing. There's so many kids that they have so much and they do not a darn thing with it. And I remember those days some kids were coming sometimes in the one room, and you said, where does everybody sleep? Where does everybody sleep in that one room? But they slept. Who sleep on floor, sleep on floor. Who get a couch on a bed, get a couch. Mama and Papa wanted them sitting them do it in a day when picnic on a school. And the intimacy come in a day when picnic on a school, because in those days you never see people like hugging, or I don't think they knew how to be intimate. It was just slam bam, thank you mom, and they go about them business and that's it. And yet today, so much has changed, and instead of people getting better, people are so envious and so bad-minded against other people who have struggled. But they lift their heads up and build. And then Jamaica has just become such a place where you're coming and you're building and you want to be here, but a lot of people have that reserve in them, knowing that they're devious people who are just envious, just and call it bad-minded against what other people work hard and do with what they had. But let's not do that, guys. Let's just look back at the days and don't call it a bad. Remember when we used to have to get up before a day if we got your water. Suppose where we get water from. And I mean one in a granny yard, I get up and my neighbor them had so much picnic and everybody with a bucket, and they had to walk through our property to come down. They could walk through their hill. There was a way they could go down another space and go down, but because they wanted to pick me up, they get up, man. And I was Bev, and they had a daughter named Bev as well. And Bev and Roy and Telma and Olive and well, Frank was young and a baby, and Pauline used to come and Ines. And all the week, through the night, they come down from their property, go over the wall in our property and come and them hoop. And when they hoop, I grab my zinc pan of the step, and I go through and I meet, they cut across them in the darkness, man. And we meet up in our property and we go down and we fill up with something in the morning there. And we come up and them gone for them where me come for me we and go empty. And then empty and then run down again, or me sometimes come out and wait for them. Or then we come down and me hear them a gallop and come and me. In a day before day morning. When 5 o'clock, when 6 o'clock come and day broke out, Granny drum full. If she get water can wash and do what she have to do. Lord, Papa Jesus. Suppose we would have water up them hill there. No, nice place, because you sometimes if you step up, you have to step and make sure your foot catch a good grip. You have to push yourself up, man. And me as a little girl, but it didn't make me worse, thank God. It made me strong and resilient. Sometimes things get to my nerves and it bothers me because I know how things were different. But then I'm able to shake it off because I said, I'm here. I know I talk too much, 37 minutes. I know some of you are like, shut up already, Miss Beth. But listen. I just really, this was just such a refreshing thing for me this morning. And as I spoke with Miss Yvette, what is her? It's Faith Movements with Yvette. I'm going to find her link and drop it. I subscribed to her channel long ago and was supporting her channel. I was supporting her channel, but then she had stopped doing videos. And so, I don't know. I know she dropped a few videos recently, but I'm not sure. Faith Movements, let me see if that's what it is. Because so she had Faith Movements, yes, she has 625 videos. Alright, so that's her channel, Faith Movements with Yvette. That's her right there. Her husband just passed, and she lives in Canada. And so guys, please go over and support her. She has 625 subscribers. So go and support her for me, please. She says, right, this video, she says, my apologies to my subscribers for staying away so long. And she's explaining why she stayed away so long. So please go over and support her. Tell her Miss Bev sent you. Faith Movements with Yvette. Each one must help one, guys. We cannot do it by ourselves, or, you know, we need each other. So, and I tell people, a lot of people, oh, me go subscribe, or maybe me not like the content, or me not like. Yeah, you might not like the content, but others will like the content. Others will like the content and keep supporting. Just go subscribe, man. When you subscribe, it helps to build the channel, and in time, you know, we can get more people who like what we're doing to come on board. But if you don't subscribe, they can't reach the monetization because they need 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. Life with Bev Brown is struggling with the watch hours. And I said, right now my laptop is carrying Little J Plays. I'm trying to help her build the watch hours. So I've been running her playlist like since Saturday. She has, I don't even know how much 100 videos are on that playlist with the live videos that she does. I just leave the laptop and let it go. Let it just run the videos. So guys, let us just help. Let us just help. It's not costing us anything. And you subscribe and you go about your business. If a video comes in you're interested in, you watch it. If it comes in and you're not interested, you just swipe it, which a lot of people do. Especially my talking. A lot of people don't want to hear me chat. But if something comes in that it interests them, they will stop and they listen. I say to my people, I say to you always, my videos, most of them, there's nothing to see. It's mostly I'm motivating, I'm encouraging, you know, whatever I'm doing. So they're listening videos. So you don't have to stop what you're doing to focus on my videos. A lot of people say, no, I got to see you, I got to, you know, and that's fine. But you can also just listen to, just play it, listen to it, and just give a thumbs up, just, you know, and keep going. And share it. If there's something that interested you, share it to somebody else. You'll be surprised to know, even if it doesn't do anything for you, it might do something for somebody else. So Miss Bev is going to shut her mouth now and, you know, just continue to pray up Miss Bev, and thank you for all your support and your contributions to the conversations. Absolutely appreciate you. In this video, I'm asking you to tell me, do you connect with anything I said about days gone by? How long have you ever had an OTET apple? We call it just apple in Jamaica. Well, now Jamaica is selling American apples as well, so we have to call it the OTET apple, the Jamaican apple. Have you ever had OTET apples? When last did you have it? Just talk to me in the comments. So I'll have a lot to read, and I will thank you for contributing. And I will absolutely appreciate all the support you have been given. So take care, everybody. It's so dark. It got so dark.